5 in the morning. Note to everyone to please turn your cell phones, pagers, and other mobile communication devices on silent mode. We would like to begin by asking the Reverend Jeffrey Soga of the Honpa Honganji Hilo Betsuin to please do the honor of the invocation. Good morning, aloha.
Good morning, Chair J. Yoshimoto and County Council and all staff. So will you please join me in meditation? Your suffering is my suffering, and your happiness is my happiness. And just as mother always loves her child, the Buddha does not forget the spirit even for a single moment, for it is the nature of Buddhahood to be compassionate. On this beautiful morning, we are gathered together for the Hawaii County Council meeting in the spirit of compassion and fellowship with loving hearts that shall always be quick to help and sympathize and slow to criticize. We gather in unity so that a fellowship of love and warm human understanding readily emerge among us. Since the source of everything is in the realm of ideas, what we think and feel carries over to our outer world. Whatever the mind can envision can be realized. Therefore, we should discipline our imagination to dwell on the goodness that we desire to experience. Let this gathering be a most inspirational one so that we may accomplish our purposes with righteousness and sincere understanding of humankind. May we be utterly sincere, entirely devoid of selfishness, and wholly open to the opinions of others. May the guidance of the Supreme One, the Universal One, the Compassionate One be with us. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Soga. Okay, I'm going to be calling the meeting to order. Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
Ms. Zia.
Here.
Ms. Ford.
Here.
Mr. Iligan.
Present.
Mr. Kanuha.
Here.
Mr. Kern.
Here.
Mr. Onishi. Present. Ms. Poindexter.
Here.
Ms. Willie.
Present.
Chair Yoshimoto.
Here.
Chair Yoshimoto, all 9 members are present.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Okay, let's see. Let's ask Mr. Kern, will you do the honor of leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to be taking statements from the public on agenda items. Let's check in with our various sites. Here in Hilo, we have 2 testifiers. Scott, good morning, and Kona, how are we doing there?
Good morning, Chair. We have no testifiers today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Scott. Ka'u, good morning, how are we doing there?
Good morning, Mr. Chair and committee. We have no one to testify this morning in Ka'u. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And let's check in with Dave and Kohala. Good morning, how are we doing there?
Good morning, Chair. We do not have any testifiers for council today.
Okay, thank you, Dave. Pahoa, good morning. Any testifiers?
Good morning, Chair. There are no testifiers here in Pahoa.
Okay, thank you. And Donnie Waimea, good morning.
Good morning. You remembered. We have no testifiers today, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so that leaves us with 2 testifiers in Hilo. I'd like to ask Arthur Warren to please come forward. He'll be testifying in opposition to Bill 208. Please come to the table. And William Halverston, if you can. There's 208 and 209. There's two bills, yeah. So, Mr. Halverson, you can come to the table too. Mr. Warren, when you're ready, hit the button on the bottom. You'll have 3 minutes for each item.
Good morning, council people.
I
Oh,
am.
can you get in front of the mic so we can hear you?
You can pull the base toward you.
There you go.
Thank you.
I'm testifying in opposition to the budget that Mr. Kanoy has proposed, in that it includes a $20 million pay raise for county employees. We are just coming out of the Great Recession. There's a little bit of light. There's been some increase in revenue to the county. He is proposing that 90% of that revenue go to county employees. What about the taxpayers? County governments of all sorts do not generate any income. Working people in the private sector generate income. Every single penny that government spends comes from this side of the table, not your side of the table. The newspaper ran stories about how poor the attendance is of county council people, yet the salary commission has proposed a salary raise for county council people. They also, yesterday, according to the newspaper this morning, the county council gave a pass to the planning department on completion of the county general plan. They had 10 years to do it. They didn't even start, and they're going to get a pay raise. And then just a couple of days ago, there was a notice in the newspaper the county's been fined $350,000 for mismanagement of the county dump, $22,000 on the Kona side. Both the planning agency of the past and the environmental agency of today was and is managed by a career bureaucrat whose sole qualifications for the job is she knows some well-placed people in county government. Is the county going to take the $350,000 fine from your pockets or the pockets of the taxpayers? That would be the same as somebody getting a $1,000 fine and asking all his neighbors on the street to pay the fine. Any fine that the county pays comes from us. You should take that fine out of the pay raises, and in fact, the county employees deserve no pay raises. Their performance is abysmal. If government workers did what they do in the private sector, the county government or the company would have gone out of business, and the workers would have been terminated. I don't understand how you can be so generous with our money. You don't even ask us. You just say, we're going to do this without any kind of responsibility. President Kennedy said, with rights come responsibilities. I don't see where the responsibilities are here. You expect us to pay our taxes, our fair share in a timely manner, which we do, but we also expect government to act accordingly, to do the best job they can in the most efficient way. I fail to see that with all the stories coming out of the newspaper these days. There should be no pay raises for county employees until they do a better job. And when they talk about the Planning Commission saying that, well, we're just playing catch up from the recession, people are on work furlough, my company asked us to save the company from bankruptcy. They asked us to take a 30% wage and benefit cut, which we did. We couldn't afford to take an extra day off. The company has to stay open every day in order to transact business. County governments in general.
Please summarize.
No pay raises.
Okay.
There's not enough money. We are a poor county, and to squeeze blood from a turnip is just not going to work. It will eventually collapse when there are more people taking from the economic pie than are putting into the economic pie. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your testimony, Mr. Warren. Okay, Mr. Halverson, hit your light, and then Mr. Halverson, you're testifying on 209.
Right now, I consider the bank be empty, nothing in it. Right now, I went 3 months ago. I went to Hawaii Constitution, Chapter 9. I filled out application for township for District 2. I also filed for the Summer Olympics to come here 2016. I also filed for, I forgot what the other two were. I'm so nervous. Anyway, there's a lot of things that I've been doing, but the two people that I was working with up in the mayor's office are no longer there, so it's like I have to start scratch all over again. I think you should be docked for not missing the voting. I think you should be docked $1,000 out of your pay for not being here at the times that you should have been here, because I feel District 2 has been either lost or gained without you being here. Sorry. For the budget, those three things that I've mentioned would be a good start for next year's calendar to put money in there, because like right now I feel like there's like, I consider there to be no money anywhere because it is tight, like the gentleman said. But my direction is to get to the debating June 4th. From there, I want to zero in on the old McDonald's. What I'd like to do with the old McDonald's is turn it into a music store. Like you pray every time, like when you start your sessions here, you pray and everything. So my basic is, when the music store is started, 18% come off the top, 10% goes to tithing, the 8% left over goes to pay for the sound and the recording. Once that's established, then you take the 82% left over, you take that in half, you give that one half to the bus department for their pay raises, you take the other half, you give that to their bus department for automatics. Now that you have the sound studio, because I know I get a whole lot of people from Pahoa to spend their money up in our district, so you take that other 18%, 10 goes to tithing, the other 8% goes to the recording. The most important thing that sits there is the Meals on Wheels. So I'd like to turn that over to Meals on Wheels to feed Auntie Uncle Art for, you know what I'm saying. Anyways, and then from there, I would like to take the other 80% and open up another research and development. What I'd like to research and development is little paintballs that explode, just like the banks when they put it in the bank and somebody takes it and it explodes. The people I want to zero this in is, at that point I would like to I would like to retire 4 judges, meaning that they cannot come back on whatever, so they're just retired and gone. Well, they take their paycheck and put it in the general fund. After that, okay.
Thank you, Mr. Halverson. Okay, any other parties or persons wishing to testify, please let us know. Otherwise, we're going to close the public testimony portion of today's agenda. Hearing or seeing none, Mr. Clerk,